you keep the same energy? Not when your friends turn enemies. We'll never throw dirt on your name for real. Pray to God I don't let the anger build. Why you gotta hit me with the change up? Talking Randy Johnson with the change.
All right, with my guy, good friend. We talk basketball daily. I think we may have some in the works down the road to talk basketball and do the generational thing. But my guy, Ced Ceballos. How you doing, Ced?
Good, bro. Good.
Great. So let's get started on something that was a hot topic for us for a couple of weeks. When someone mentioned the whole Golden State Warriors of now versus the Lakers of 2001.
No, don't say somebody. Shaquille O'Neal.
Okay, Shaquille O'Neal. Okay.
And our beef was, that they would get torched, and I said before KD or after KD, because that's the common denominator. Before or after KD. Before KD, I think Draymond Green is the common denominator because Shaquille O'Neal will bananas him. And if you at that time they had McGee. At that time they had it was. What's the big guy name came from Milwaukee? Bogan. They had Bogans. They had that situation going on, but Shaquille O'Neal, he stops all of that. Now, don't get me wrong. The matchup between, I think Phil would put Kobe on Steph instead of Clay. Which makes either, I think at the time, Fox, Harper, or Derek Fisher on the job to guard Clay coming off. But he's coming off somebody who has a great helper in Horace Grant, AC Green, or Robert Horry. So I think that eliminates that. The common denominator in those two tournaments will be Draymond Green versus Shaq, and we all know what's going to happen with that. Now, with KD on that squad, they're going to have to bring Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and teach him how to handle the ball and shoot threes in order to go through that, because I know I have never seen, nor has the game of basketball ever seen somebody 7 foot slim handle the ball like KD, shoot like KD, get to the basket like KD. And I said, I personally think, and I'm a big fan of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, I think that's a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with handles in the jump shot. And you couldn't guard Kareem when he didn't have handles in the three-pointer. So how you going to guard him if he has handles in the three-pointer? So KD is the common denominator of being the eliminator of any conversation with any I don't know about any Laker team, but that Laker team winning the championship in 7 games.
All right, so let's talk about the state of the NBA. And you're a person who you give praise to a lot of the younger players now, and you also compare, not comparing them to older players, but a guy like LeBron James.
Yeah.
When you look at him, a transcendent guy, you mentioned LeBron will be a certain player in that generation, and I think you said Karl Malone.
Yes.
So what do you think about LeBron James as a player? Because obviously one unique thing is this. You were a Laker player.
Yeah.
He's wearing the number 23, and I think that's pretty cool. So can you talk about LeBron, man, as a player?
Man, and it's not a disrespect to Karl Malone. It's not a disrespect to LeBron James. It's just the way basketball was taught. At 6'8", 6'9", 250, 60, 270, the coaches back then where Karl grew up told him to get his big butt with his back to the basket and dominate and kill, and that's exactly what he did. And Hall of Fame to the fullest, first ballot, he unstoppable player. Had his chances twice at the finals, MVP and championship, but he just ran into Michael Jordan. Now, with this new technology and training and overseas ability, obviously LeBron James has switched and said, give him the ball, let him bring it up. Just like when Magic came in the league, they're like, what? We can't get nobody 6'8" to basketball and tell him he's a point guard. And they even tried that because Norm Nixon was the point guard at first. And it was like, nah, this dude is something special. We don't see him all the time. Let's go ahead and give him the ball. We can get Byron Scott from a Clippers pick and give Norm Nixon, a great player, over to the Clippers. So this is something that we have never seen. And I talked about KD before. LeBron and KD, the training that they've got as kids and the mentality they've got as kids, that it doesn't matter what size I am, you could always put pressure on anybody by handling the ball and shooting the three. And now we're looking at another baby that's been born from those two, in Zion Williams. That dude is any football team's Hall of Fame linebacker, any football team's offensive lineman, and he's running up and down the Duke court and dunking and running all crazy, and it's ridiculous. So, you know, all these babies that have been birthed, you know, Will Chamberlain birthed Shaquille O'Neal, and, you know, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar birthed the KD, and Karl Malone birthed LeBron James. We're just seeing the new elevation of a basketball player and all these young players.
All right, so one thing that we always talk about, and I know it's tough for you to want to talk about this, but your Phoenix Suns team.
Yeah.
And when you look at like the competition for Jordan in the 90s, to me that 93 Suns team was arguably the best team that he faced in the finals.
Right.
And I feel like the team that could have beat them. Right. You know, you guys had Dan Marley, KJ, of course the MVP at the time, Charles Barkley, and so several other great players on that team as well. Can you talk about that team and the what-if factor? And obviously that team today is going to make a crazy, because then that lineup changes. Because then you look at most of those guys in that lineup, they're now stretch forwards, or even most guys are not even playing. Yeah. So can you talk about that team and the dynamic of that team, and what was the reason why you guys didn't get past the Bulls?
Well, obviously the reason we get past the Bulls is just Michael Jeffrey Jordan. But that year, you know, Michael lost a couple of MVPs in his career. And the year he lost that MVP to Charles, nobody ever says Charles was not the best player in that year. Every other year that Michael didn't get MVP, they gave it to Carl because of this. They gave it to so-and-so because of it. That year, they knew that the best player in basketball was Charles Barkley. That's first and foremost. Secondly, I think we can retaliate. We had enough weapons in myself and Richard Dumas for Scottie Pippen. Combine us two, we make it dangerous for Scottie. Richard Dumas was bananas when he had the ball in his hands. I was bananas when I didn't have the ball in my hands, making Scottie be aware defensively where he couldn't pet bull and go seek out other people to steal the ball and get block shots from. Kevin Johnson, obviously nobody was going to be able to guard Kevin Johnson besides Michael, even B.J. Armstrong. He was even ailing, he was even hurting, and they still couldn't stop KJ. Tom Chambers obviously on the downside of his career at that time, but Marley definitely was in the prime of his career at that moment. Long distance threes, a top defender, also a tenacious person who would just go to war with anybody. Danny Ainge, our veteran leadership. You know, so when you go player for player, blow for blow when it comes to that Chicago Bulls team, you know, we kind of matched up really well with them, and we put them in bad positions that didn't make them utilize what they do great. Michael and Scottie did great when they could leave their man because their man wasn't dangerous enough and go steal and go block shots and cause havoc. He couldn't do that. That's, you know, I averaged against Scottie up in the 30s and 40s because he couldn't do that. He couldn't leave me because I never had the ball in my hands. So if you left me, I put myself in a great situation to score. Richard Dumas was a one-on-one guy, so, you know, that put pressure on him too. You know, everybody always asks me about, you know, how dangerous was Michael Jordan. This is how dangerous we thought he was. We knew he was. We didn't even put our best defender on him. There's no reason. He's going by everybody, so why have your help be your second, third, maybe fourth best defender? Have your weakest defender guard him, and at that time it was Richard Dumas. Have your weakest defender guard him. At that time, Danny Ainge was in the game because he's going around them, and now he gets to meet KJ on the double. Now he gets to meet Marley on the double. Now he gets to meet Mark West, Oliver Miller on the double, which was a great strategy and why it took us a while to figure it out the first two games. And then after the first two games, we just happened to have a bad decision by Ainge, a bad decision by Barkley, by trying to, you know, make a steal in that situation, which left Paxson wide open, one of the greatest shooters with his toes on the line in this game has seen. So, that, you know, it's just, I think if that game goes to Game 7, which Michael Jordan has never been to, you know, we win that game in Phoenix.
All right, so next time we talk, you know, we got to talk sneakers. I know you're a big sneaker guy, and of course we got to talk some music and a special TV appearance. So once again, everybody, I want y'all to be sure, I'm going to post this social media at the bottom of this video. I want you guys to be sure to follow him. He's a great sports mind, not just basketball, but just sports in general and life and music. Got a great story to tell, man. So once again, this is my guy, Ced Ceballos. I appreciate you, dog. What's good, everybody? I appreciate you watching my channel, looking at my videos, but be sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter and subscribe to the channel. Let's get it.